Warning: cruising in 2026 will cost more than you think. A cruise that costs $1,200 today could quietly cost $1,600 by 2026 without changing ships, cabins, or destinations. New taxes, port fees, and onboard charges are lining up behind the scenes, and one of the biggest increases is designed so most travelers never notice it. Later in this video, I'll also explain the one cost increase that's catching more passengers off guard than anything else, and I cover cruise changes like this every week on this channel. The cruise price you see first feels like the deal, but it's often the most misleading number in the entire trip. 1. The cruise fare illusion is breaking. Cruise prices haven't stayed cheap. They've become better at hiding. Over the past decade, base fares barely moved, but total trip costs quietly ballooned through fees, surcharges, and add-ons scattered across the booking journey. The psychology is intentional. A low headline price triggers commitment, while smaller charges feel painless when added later. That's how a $999 cruise ends up costing $1,300 without upgrades, alcohol, or luxury cabins. Same ship, same room, different bill. Here's the key shift. By 2026, this model accelerates as external taxes move off the fare and into pass-through costs. That's not cosmetic, it's structural. Cheap cruises aren't cheaper anymore. Always compare cruises by total out-the-door cost, not fare. 2 numbers, 1 truth. Game changer. 2. Why 2026 is the tipping point. Why does everything seem to change at once in 2026? Because multiple delayed policies finally converge. Port congestion rules, environmental compliance deadlines, and post-pandemic tourism funding gaps all mature in the same window. Governments didn't rush these changes, they staged them. That's why the increases feel sudden, even though they've been planned for years. An industry analyst recently summed it up perfectly. Cruising didn't get more expensive overnight, it ran out of places to hide costs. Picture a domino line. Ports raise fees, cruise lines pass them through. Onboard prices rise to compensate. Dual pressure. One result. Timing is the real tax. Cruises booked before new fee schedules lock in often grandfather lower costs. Timing beats loyalty. Period. Some of the world's most beautiful cruise ports are quietly changing their rules, and passengers are the ones footing the bill. 3. Port cities are done subsidizing tourism. Imagine stepping off your ship into a postcard-perfect harbor, then realizing the city hosting you is losing money on every arrival. That's the uncomfortable reality many port cities face today. Infrastructure strain, waste management, and crowd control all cost more than tourism brings in. So cities are rewriting agreements, shifting those costs directly to passengers instead of local taxpayers. Venice, Barcelona, and parts of the Caribbean are already piloting higher per-visit charges, and 2026 expands that playbook globally. 2 facts collide here. More passengers, fewer subsidies. Result: higher port fees. Someone always pays. Ports with over-tourism risk now equal higher costs, prioritize less saturated itineraries. Smart move. 4. Passenger head taxes, small fee, big impact. If a fee looks small, multiply it by people and days. Passenger head taxes sound harmless. $10 here, $15 there. But they're charged per person, per port, sometimes per day. A family of 4 visiting 5 ports can rack up hundreds without noticing until the final bill. Governments love these taxes because they're predictable and politically quiet. Cruise lines tolerate them because they pass them straight through. 2 truths meet. Low visibility, high certainty. Ouch. Families feel this first. When budgeting, multiply head taxes by travelers and ports. Then decide if shorter or fewer stop cruises win. Absolutely. The next wave of cruise costs won't be labeled as taxes or fees, but they'll still show up on your final bill. 5. Environmental fees you won't see advertised. The cleanest sounding fees are often the hardest to spot. Environmental levies tied to fuel emissions, waste processing, and port sustainability rarely appear as a single line item. Instead, they're blended into daily service charges, higher excursion prices, or operational adjustments. That makes them feel voluntary, even though they aren't. By 2026, new maritime standards require ships to either upgrade systems or pay penalties. 2 paths. Same passenger outcome. Green isn't free. Scan daily onboard charges closely. Environmental costs hide there first. Awareness saves money. Quick note. If you're planning a cruise and want to avoid getting hit with costs you didn't expect, this is exactly what this channel is for. I break down cruise price changes, hidden fees, and new rules so you can plan ahead instead of paying for surprises. 6. Onboard charges are replacing ticket prices. On my last cruise, the fare felt cheap until day 3. Coffee upgrades, specialty dining, Wi-Fi, service fees, gratuities, none were outrageous alone. Together, they eclipsed the original fare increase cruise lines and avoided advertising. This is deliberate economics. Raising fares hurts bookings, but raising onboard spending boosts profit quietly. Dual fact. Passengers spend more on board than ever, while fares barely move. Result. Stealth inflation. The ship is the cash register. Set a daily onboard spending cap before sailing. Discipline beats surprise. What looks like a fun add-on is slowly becoming a way to charge passengers for things ports no longer want to fund. 7. Excursions are becoming a tax workaround. You book a shore excursion thinking you're paying for fun. Transport, a guide, maybe lunch. But behind the scenes, excursions are becoming a financial pressure valve. As ports raise docking and infrastructure fees, cruise lines increasingly bundle those costs into official tours instead of itemizing them as taxes. The result feels optional, but the pricing pressure isn't. Skip the excursion, and you may face limited access or higher independent costs. 2 facts converge. Ports charge more, excursions cost more. Same source. Optional doesn't mean avoidable. Compare ship excursions to truly independent options. Sometimes the expensive tour is the cheaper all-in choice. 8. Loyalty programs may lose real value. What if loyalty points buy perks, but not relief? Cruise loyalty programs were built to offset rising costs with free drinks, Wi-Fi, or priority access. But new taxes and port fees sit outside those benefits. That means loyal cruisers may feel rewarded while still paying more overall. An industry consultant recently warned that status is becoming experiential, not financial. Translation: perks feel good, but they don't lower the bill. Dual reality. One disappointment: status doesn't pay taxes. Use loyalty perks to reduce onboard spending, but never assume they offset new external fees. Here's the part most travelers get backwards. The shorter your cruise, the more expensive each day can become. 9. Short cruises will get hit hardest. The shorter the cruise, the higher the cost per night. That sounds backwards, but fixed fees don't care how long you sail. Passenger head taxes, port charges, and environmental levies apply whether you're on board for 3 days or 10. On a weekend cruise, those costs compress into fewer nights, making the nightly price spike. 2 facts collide. Flat fees, shorter trips. The math is unforgiving. Time spreads pain. If fees rise, longer itineraries dilute them. Counterintuitive, but powerful. 10. The all-inclusive pricing mirage. If something is truly all-inclusive, ask what happens when costs rise. Many cruise lines now bundle gratuities, Wi-Fi, or drinks into one price, but taxes and port fees often remain adjustable. That means your all-in fare can still grow after booking. Dual fact: bundled perks stay fixed. External charges float. One looks stable, one isn't. Bundles hide movement. Read fare terms for government-imposed fees subject to change. That's where surprises live. 2 cruises can look identical on paper, yet cost very different amounts for one simple reason most people overlook. 11. Homeport taxes matter more than destination. 2 identical cruises. Same ship, same itinerary. Different starting cities, and different final bills. Homeports are gaining new power because that's where taxes are easiest to enforce. Some cities charge embarkation fees, local tourism levies, or environmental surcharges before the ship even sails. Others don't. That means the cost difference between leaving from one port versus another can outweigh the destination itself. Dual reality. Destinations compete, homeports collect. Guess who wins? Where you start matters. Compare cruises by homeport first. Sometimes a short flight saves hundreds. 12. The Smart Cruisers 2025 to 2026 Playbook. The most experienced cruisers I know aren't panicking, they're repositioning. They're booking longer sailings, favoring lower tax homeports, limiting onboard splurges, and locking in prices before new fee schedules finalized. They're also flexible with destinations because value now moves faster than loyalty. Two facts guide them. Fees are rising, but strategies still work. For now. Preparation beats discounts. Plan cruises like investments. Optimize structure, timing, and exposure. That's control. Cruising isn't becoming unaffordable. It's becoming more complex. By 2026, the biggest mistakes won't be overpaying on fares, but misunderstanding fees, ports, and timing. The travelers who win won't chase the cheapest price. They'll understand the system behind it. And that system is changing yet. If this video helped you avoid even one unexpected cruise cost, this channel is for you. I post regular updates on cruise price changes, hidden fees, and new rules, so you know what's coming before you book or board. This video is for informational purposes only. It is not professional travel, medical, or financial advice. Always consult qualified experts before making decisions. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.